So I watched a TED Talk by Martin Seligman called The New Era of Positive Psychology, although it is from 2004, beware. But Seligman is known as the father of happiness science. He was the president of the American Psychological Association in 1998, and he founded learned helplessness theory, a psychological condition in which a human being or animal has learned to act or behave helplessly in a particular situation, even when it actually has the power to change its unpleasant or harmful circumstances. Learned helplessness theory is basically like the elephant rope myth, right? There's this folk tale that when elephants are really young, they are tied to these poles with this thin rope that's just strong enough to hold them, so that when they grow up, even though they are an adult size who could easily break free, they're conditioned to believe they can't, so they never try. So when Seligman was practicing psychology, it was still a practice that focused on what is wrong with you, and was often associated with severe mental illness and thus negatively stigmatized. But Seligman realized that there's more to a human than what makes them unhealthy. And he'd spent so much of his career asking, how do extremely miserable people differ from the rest of us? But never once asked himself, how do extremely happy people differ from the rest of us? So he founded, ultimately, positive psychology. And in his own words, positive psychology's aims are to be as concerned with strength as it is with weakness, as interested in building the best things in life as it is in repairing the worst, and as concerned with making the lives of normal people fulfilling and nurturing as it is with healing pathology for those who are suffering. Now, after a lot of studies, Seligman concluded that happiness has 3 dimensions that can be cultivated. He coins them the pleasant life, the good life, and the meaningful life. So he says the pleasant life is realized if we learn how to savor and appreciate basic pleasures, such as our environment, our needs, companionship, and it can be achieved by slowing down and grounding ourselves in the present. The good life is achieved through discovering our unique virtues and strengths and employing them creatively to enhance our lives. This looks like investing in activities that we enjoy and engaging with the people around us. And finally, the meaningful life is when we find a deep sense of fulfillment by employing our unique strengths for a purpose greater than ourselves. Now, according to Seligman, we experience these 3 types of happiness: pleasure and gratification, embodiment of strengths and virtues, and meaning and purpose. And regardless of how we feel about positive psychology, because I know there's a lot of controversy around it, like, oh, positive psychology is so toxic, it's about gaslighting yourself in the mirror every morning. But studies have shown that growth and resilience developed from utilizing these practices are very valuable for people in high-stress landscapes, like the military, the medical field, or in 2023, simply fucking existing. Cognitive behavior therapy also uses several strength-based approaches that can really help you cultivate resilience and self-esteem and just give you the tools to better cope with life's stressors. Now, when it comes to positive psychology or any real methodology, I think the best approach is take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Because even if science says a very specific thing, you could be the outlier for that. But I really like Seligman's approach, like cultivating positive emotions, positive individual traits, and positive relationships. Sounds like a pretty solid foundation for increasing one's well-being. Now, if you're interested in watching the TED Talk, you can find it online. It's called The New Era of Positive Psychology. And I really appreciated it from the perspective of this person who had been so mired in serious mental illness for so much of his career that it finally occurred to him, like, how can we look at people in the world who are happy and content and start modeling our behavior around them so that everyone, everywhere, regardless of how severe or mild your mental state is able to benefit from that. I'm Akana. Thank you to the patrons who supported today's episode. And thank you to my daddy, Squarespace, for sponsoring today's video. If you guys aren't familiar with my dad yet, I don't know where you've been or what you've been doing, but Squarespace is an all-in-one platform to build a gorgeous website, sell your products, and engage with your audience. If you're like me and you don't know anything about how to code, I don't even know what it's called anymore, there's so many software things, Squarespace is perfect. Now they have beautiful and professional website templates that you use as a starting point, and then you can customize all of it to your specific brand and aesthetic. It looks so sophisticated, but on the back end, it's just drag and drop. So it's easy and intuitive to build and just as easy to keep it updated. You can also create an online store and sell whatever it is that you have to offer. For me, that's my online guidebook, but for you, that maybe looks like physical products, services, or classes. Whatever it is, we're all here to make a livelihood doing what we're passionate about, and this is what we are living for. You can go to squarespace.com for a free trial, and whenever you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/Anna and use code Anna for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.